Why is Ballerina like this? Well, the single biggest reason is that it's not written originally for this franchise. It was an adaptation of a pre-existing script. It's actually possible to find it online right now with a Google. And that's not unusual. Pre-existing scripts get bought all the time and made into really great movies. And even in franchises, pre-existing scripts get bought and then rewritten to fit the franchise in a way that makes everyone really happy and works really well. But this film is not an example of that. The end result of taking the script this way is that it's missing most of the things that made John Wick great on a writing level. There isn't a solid cast of character actors. There isn't as much of a sense of humor. Characters aren't as laconic as before. Plot points aren't established as early. It feels less like a movie and more like a bunch of people explaining their motivations at length. And that's what scripts usually look like when you're about to start shooting. Part of the job of shooting is figuring out how to work it and make it better. This film was 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and it could have easily been 20 minutes shorter just by cutting some of the speeches. Why did they do this? Probably because John Wick has been extremely financially successful for its creators, and they wanted to keep making them. And the truth is, movies don't have to be great to keep the brand alive, and keep people going to see them, and to keep being profitable. A lot of people's experience with a film comes down to how it's marketed to them, and how it's placed in the context of their lives. Even absolutely terrible films can be massively successful if they do that well. There's a good chance Ballerina is going to make all its money back, be a success, maybe even get a sequel. And if you liked John Wick at all, you should want that to happen. You should want there to be lots of movies. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad, the originals are still great, and most of the things you really like are still going to be there. The rule of movies is the rule of all businesses everywhere, which is that when you make a product that succeeds, you have to keep doing it until it stops succeeding. And ideally, you can make it so it keeps succeeding. So they're probably going to keep making these anyway. Is there anything we can do about this? Probably no. Abstaining from seeing the movie isn't going to help. Complaining about it on the internet? Maybe people will kind of think of the same things you're thinking of, but it might not influence creation at all. But we can probably do something by incorporating our thoughts into whatever it is we're working on, and focusing on the successes. Any hardcore fan knows that half the reason the original got made is because the original creators were stunt performers and they wanted to make just a really kick-ass, cool-looking stunt extravaganza. And John Wick is succeeding at that more than ever. The flamethrower fight in this movie, that whole sequence, I'm going to be talking about that for months. The John Wick franchise has never looked better, and the action has never been more creative. It's just a shame that the writing isn't always congruent with that to help create something that altogether is equally awesome.